Okay, this might fucking... I've got to be sure because my phone's on 3%, so I've got to go back to my room and put it on charge. I wasn't going to use my phone. I bloody fucking went on Instagram and was like, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to fucking throw my phone away today. Everyone be happy. And what am I doing? I'm on my phone. I'm also in the laundry right now. But basically, what I was talking about was so many things. So let's just start with where I was at. So, Pisces. I know so many Pisces, literally men and women. Like, obviously, I feel like the women have more against them, so I understand. But basically, every single Pisces I know has this really great ability to make people feel understood and feel loved and welcomed. And, I can be like that too. I just reject it because I'm like, just me. This is my approach. I'm very much like, but if I need to, then I will. It's so easy to get information out of people. It's so easy to look at someone in the eye and make them feel loved. And that's an issue. Like, I was thinking last night, why don't I just try and just go out and just like have more meaningless sex with people? I don't want to because I don't want sex. I want connection. And if I get myself in those situations, I'm actually more worried for the other person because I know exactly how to make people feel loved. And I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to make people fall in love. Which is so weird to hear from me, but like, it's the fucking truth. But anyway, these Pisces are just such people pleasers. Like, it's sad because I know all of them, they just have this natural ability to be very empathetic and ask, like, every time something happens, they ask, like, oh, how do you feel? Like, what's wrong? Like, they're so comforting, but it's just natural that, like, do you know what I mean? It's almost like it makes this nature for people to... I just remembered my phone is on 3%. Let's put the washing machine on. It almost like brews this environment where people basically confide in them because they go to a Pisces, or a Pisces might not even care, but they just have this urge to check up on someone because they know something bad's happened or this or that. Oh, my phone's gonna fucking... Okay, we're on charge. Do you know what I mean? So it's already like, they might not even care. They're just doing it because it's like a natural response, if you will. And then people are like, blah, 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 blah. And then they just like get sucked into these wormholes of having to fucking care about people, which would be so exhausting. But that's what I mean. I know so many Pisces that they're such people pleasers. And I see that if that was what happened, like, they just get sucked into all these people's bullshit. And there's so many Pisces who just literally do not give a fuck about other people. And it's fair. Like, I'm not calling them bad people. It's just, I understand why. Like, these Pisces, like, this is why I love Pisces. Like, if you're a Pisces and you look in the mirror and you see that version of yourself that's like, everything's like the other way around. That's literally who I am. Like, sometimes it's really hard for people to figure out what I'm feeling, but like every single Pisces can tell straight away how I feel. Like, I can't hide it from them. But then they also need to remember that I can tell how they're feeling. By simply using logic, I can see how they're feeling. That's the beauty of Virgo and Pisces. But anyway, back to these Pisces, man. I just see so many of them so invested in other people's dramas and other people's bullshit and other people's lives. They just have no choice. They literally cannot say no. They're sucked too far in, basically. And it's just so sad. It is so fucking sad. Because they know all they want to do is tell someone to fuck off, but then they're too nice to say that. So that would be so fucking exhausting if that was your life constantly. Just being sucked into other people's bullshit and not being able to stand up for yourself and be like, actually, you know what? I don't give a fuck. Go piss the fuck off and sort your own fucking problems out. But they're too nice, so I also get that. The lighting in here is so bad, it makes me want to kill myself, but it's fine. I'm just trying to figure out what else I had to say. What the fuck do I film? Oh my god. Should I get yogurt? I kind of feel like yogurt. I have to go to the shops. But anyway, it's just... Yeah. But that's what I mean. It's sort of where this is going is. But I feel like if you were emotionally intelligent like me and Pisces were, then you understand people well. I don't think other people understand how well we understand people. Like, I can physically see how emotion manifests in people's bodies. I know what their thoughts are. I know how to predict the future because I can just see everyone for what they are. I can see how information around them gets sent into their brain and how it gets processed and how they change themselves quite literally around other people and other environments. It's just, do they forget that people can see them? And I think that's the thing. When you become aware of how people see you, then you have the opportunity to change yourself. It's true. You know, if you naturally do something and then you become aware that, oh, people can see me do that and I don't like that, then yeah, you can just do something else. But even then, there are still people like me and like Pisces, I guess. We can see when you're doing that. Like you're already trying to, like you're already not being authentic, like you're already being a fake version of yourself. But like other people are like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, they're embracing it, but we can see that. This is such a weird place to film. But anyway, I don't give a fuck. I just think going with the people pleasing, using my Pisces people as a good example, it's just, why would you want to be in a relationship with someone where you're constantly dragged into someone else's problems and that you don't want to be? Like, how do you let go of that? How do you, I would imagine it would be a strong point in your life or like a experience trying to understand like the best way to set a boundary, to be like, you know what, I do care, but I don't actually care that much. Like, you need to go off and do your own thing. Like, you know, like at some point, like, fuck off in a nice way. Like, but that's what I mean. I feel like if you're lucky enough, though, like, you would want to surround yourself with people who are intelligent like you, who sort of, you know, I guess what's going through my mind right now is there are certain people that I want to stay away from because the way that I interpret them and I understand them is they're not very bright, which means, you know, they're the type of people that will just take and take and take because they don't have the capacity to realize that they also need to give back. Or, you know, I guess a better way of saying it is they can take and take and take as much, but unless someone specifically tells them, like, hey, don't take anything, or like, could you please give it back to me, you know? Like, they're not going to, on their own terms, think, oh, you know what, I should probably, like, return some of this or give some of the same energy back. Does that makes sense, right? Like, there are some cases, like, it's not, obviously it's probably really generalized what I'm saying, but I guess for the purpose of my explanation it makes sense, where for me at least, I've been really lucky in this life where I have friends that understand that. Like, I've never, you know, like if I go out to dinner, right, or let's say we go out and I go out with a friend and we get something to eat, just something small, and I'm like, oh, it's fine, you know, like I'll pay for both of ours. Like, it's not like fucking what, $200 that I'm spending. It's like what, $20, like $10 each, whatever. I'll be like, you're my friend. Like, I'll pay for it. Like, it's fine. Who cares? And then the next time we go out, like my other friend, my friend that I went out with that I paid for, will be like, oh, it's okay. Like, last time you bought it for us, so this time I'll buy it for us. And like, not every single time we do it, but like, do you know what I mean? It's just like natural, like we just know shit. It's like, that's a beautiful friendship, not someone that needs to be told, hey, which is fine. Some people aren't like that, but also, if you're faced with someone like that, do you see how easy it is to get trapped? Yeah, I kind of stopped because mum and my sister got home and I said hi to them, but where was I? Yeah, you know, obviously I understand that and communication is really good, but like, even then, it just depends on the person. Like, even then, some people with the best communication ever, they're just not naturally like that. So you can still run into issues. And unfortunately, I do know a lot of people who, I mean, it's none of my business. And at the end of the day, it's that their own problem. And it sucks. But one of those days, I have faith that, like, you know, either they're going to step away or they're going to just sit down and have, you know, a conversation that really, like, enlightens each other, and sort of just makes everything click. Where it's just like, you're not putting in as much as I am into this relationship, and it's really hurting me because, you know, you don't think twice about all the stuff that I'm doing, all the things that I'm sacrificing for you, because it's just another thing that I'm doing. It's just another thing that almost becomes like an expectation, which is also why setting boundaries is so important, because you don't want someone to take advantage of you. And sometimes people don't mean to, like, they don't realize. That's what I mean. Like, if you offer something, you know, obviously some people are just like, well, yeah, it's fine. I mean, you offered it, so I guess that means that you're happy and you're willing to. And if you offer it again, it's like, yeah, you just get into this habit of taking, because, like, there's no indication that the other person is. That's my cat. Charlie, it's fine. He wants to go outside, but, you know, like, there's no indication that, yeah, things aren't okay. But also, that's what leads back to good communication. Because if you don't have good communication, then you're not going to know things like this. But then also, there's something so beautiful about just having, I want to say there's a focus on good communication, but sometimes good communication comes so naturally. And good communication also doesn't fall under, like, specifically talking. Like, there's so many ways to communicate with someone. And if you're lucky enough to be in a good relationship where you can, you know, get each other's needs across without having to talk, that's beautiful.